Bop. The #1 live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Big Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.
Johnny's ready to get it.
Let's go!
Hell yeah.
It's Monday night, and we're going to tell you,
edition.
it is a special edition. You know what that fucking means is the West Coast Pop Lock
It's Monday this
podcast
time.
invading fucking Mondays.
Yeah, we had to be #1 on Mondays, too. You know, we couldn't just do Tuesdays.
I heard there was a podcast out there that was like, that's cool, they can have Tuesdays, but
Yeah.
like,
We
we're
got
#1
Mondays.
on Mondays. I was like, fuck those guys.
Fuck your
We're coming
podcast.
from Monday, too.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
thing you know, it'll be Wednesday,
All the
Thursday,
days.
Friday.
All the days are
It's
mine.
a week.
Every day's mine.
Yeah, fuck them.
I don't know what you're talking about. But we're
Somebody-
cooking indoors and taking fucking names. Whatever the fuck does that mean, taking names?
I just, writing
names.
down names.
Taking
All the
names.
fools you fucked up. You write their name down after that.
Oh, is that what that
Like,
means?
I fucked them up.
Ooh.
I'm taking that name.
Take that shit, Johnny.
Taking it.
Fuck yeah. By the way, Johnny just performed. Did you have a great time? Was it good?
Dude, I've been speaking completely subjectively. Like, I'm not, without trying to toot my own horn. I've been doing good.
All right.
Hey, man, you know when you're doing good.
Right,
You know,
right.
When you're
I've
in
been
your
doing-
craft, you know when you're doing good.
Well, yeah, because they laugh, right?
That is like a pretty,
The gauge
yeah,
is
yeah.
right there. I'm just,
What number are we on, Mario?
We are on number 49.
And we have a special guest today. Not only is he a special guest today, Elvis of Left Alone. He will also be performing our first performance on the
Hell yeah.
West Coast Pop Lock Podcast.
absolutely.
And I got a little taste of it earlier, man. Yeah, you guys are in for it. So we'll be doing that. He's going to be doing a couple songs for you. Thank you for coming down, man. We really appreciate this.
Welcome.
Bro, having you in. And
Yeah.
welcome to the West
Bienvenidos.
Coast Pop Lock Podcast.
Bienvenidos.
thank you for inviting me,
Yeah.
It's good to be here in Compton.
Definitely. Compton.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I got off on Wilmington Boulevard, no, Avenue, whichever Wilmington it is, Avenue,
Yeah.
because Boulevard is by my old house. And I was like, huh.
Normally, all the ska kids always come buy weed from Compton. At least that was what it used to be back in the early 2000s. And
With
shit,
their
so.
backpacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And then, so he came down today to hang out with us and talk. And we were just talking right now about Warped Tour and
Yeah.
the hustle that took. We had Josh Stolo on a couple episodes back, and we were talking about the force of drink that they would make and all this hustle. And you were talking about your own hustle, like selling cigarettes. and-
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sure, because that would be illegal. So
That'd
No,
be weird.
that's years ago. So the
the statute of limitations
is
sure,
gone.
Sure.
Now, well, I mean, we used to cook, and
Yeah,
then
the
people
barbecue
like to
band.
get faded as a barbecue band after every show or most of the shows. So then you just kind of see the need for something, and then you fill it. Whether somebody needs a cigarette after him asking you like 40 times for one, you'd be like, "We got some in the van. They're just $1. You just leave
Yeah.
$1."
Yeah.
Or something. And then
Yeah.
like our version of the forced drink was called Donkey whatever you could mix in, you know what I mean? And then you just sell $5 a cup, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But it was really just a party for all our friends every night. It was good. It was good times. That was how we came up, and that was like our official first tours. Was like Warped Tour, like 2 months, barbecue band, pulling like a barbecue pit trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, so you'd be going down the highway and people were trying to like tell you like, "Yo, you're on fire." It's like, no, it's just from the barbecue.
Yeah.
The
over there.
barbecue's still lit.
Looking like a train, but that's how we kind of came up, and that's how it started. We were a band before that, but touring.
How important was that for you guys as a band, like out there?
That's how we got signed. That's how we were noticed, and like Tim was there. That's when everything kind of started happening. Like in the real way, we were on the Warped Tour compilation. Those things go gold, So they would always help that. That helped out a lot. But it was like knowing other bands. I did it in 03 as a roadie for the barbecue band. Then in 04, I got my band on it. And then we released our record, Lonely Starts and Broken Hearts. And I made like 1,000 special ones for the barbecue to hand out.
Fuck
So
yeah.
you'd get it with like a burger, be like, "Here's the record." Not like annoying, like, "Hey, dude, here's my band." Just kind of like, "Yeah, if you want to take it, take
Yeah.
it." You know what I mean?
Take it.
Take it.
Take it.
And then Tim was there because Large and the Bastards were playing that year, And then there was kind of like a little thing going on with like certain labels we were kind of talking to in a way, but the goal was Hellcat. That was just like, and he just rolled up, and then that's kind of where it all started. Then the year after that, we re-released it on Hellcat, and then that just kind of like started everything.
Damn, dude.
And that was 05 when
that was so like I remember.
Yeah.
Seeing Left Alone, and that's like, and just like knowing who you were from just like around the way, and it's like kind of like a tattoo or kind of like everything else. We kind of noticed like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, look, Left Alone's getting some shit. Like, look at that. They're playing some fucking shows. You start to, and it was like, God, it was so cool to watch you guys grind it out and start, like, making some shit happen, man. That was fucking...
Yeah, when I look back, it was a lot of work. Like, a lot of hard work. Like, when I think about it, it was a lot of, like, you know, touring, like, sleeping on people's floors, in the van, out in the snow, like, you know. But it was worth it. I mean, that's kind of part of, like, developing and being a DIY artist and still keeping that, but just kind of just moving forward and still keeping those roots, but kind of evolving, you know, and kind of doing
paying them
shit.
dues, man, putting in them miles.
Yeah, a little too much. I think I fucking overpaid. You know what I mean? I need to check that receipt. I think I did a little too much. But yeah, that's how it kind of started with the Warped Tour thing. So, you know, the Gilbert's band, what were they called?
The Sparring.
The Sparring. I was thinking the gambling. The Sparring, yeah, they were on the barbecue. They were doing the barbecue when we were on tour with them too, and it was like watching them, judging them. Like, they're not. Dude, we used to get down. We used to do shrimp cocktail. We used to do ribs, like, you know, not just burgers, like quesadillas. We used to do we used to separate the stuff for like some of the, you know, back then when it was like new to me, like vegan and all that stuff. We'd keep the grill separated. Yeah, we get all fucking.
Shit, man, this is almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, this is before all the fucking
like
food trucks.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Because I learned a lot from Destruction Made Simple as a roadie. How some band members would be like, hey, man, can, like, you know, my stuff not touch that stuff? And I was like, all right, okay, that's important, I guess, to some people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
To the people that it's important to, it's super important.
Yeah,
you know?
so I get it.
So,
Bring extra foil, put their stuff on that. So, yeah.
And that's how you make the money, too. Like by fucking
tips,
by not catering to, but by listening to their concerns and what their wants and needs.
Customer service,
right? Customer service.
Yeah, like I've never worked at a restaurant, but I feel like I have a master's in that shit. You know what I mean? Just from Warped Tour, the plates, the system, make them do a line and like stand in certain areas, and yeah, it was good times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm grateful for that shit. That shit was. I look back and I'm like, but it was good.
Hell yeah. Do you have the same members from the beginning still?
No. This version of the band has been around together. Actually, our drummer is his anniversary in a couple of weeks, I think. I got to give him a gold watch. He's 10 years in.
Hell yeah.
So he's the youngest one in the band, the newest one. Like 10. Jam is like 12, 13. Pablo, our organ player, man, I was telling you about him. It's kind of weird because like I've fired him so many times that it's weird. His start date begins or it ends. So like his like health insurance lapse, his 401k, we always gotta restart it. So we don't know where he's at. But nah, he's been actually on Warped Tour. That's where I found him. He just walked up. And he's like, "Hey man," I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "You kind of play ska." He's like a total like reggae ska guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, "When you come around from Canada, like I'll play with you." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, whatever, right? Cool, whatever."
Yeah.
We're setting up and shit, and there's this dude setting up his keyboard. He's just plugging his shit in, asking the sound guy for stuff, and we're like, who's this guy? So then I had to, like, show him what I was playing, so he would write it down on like, notes or whatever, and then we played, and then he never left.
Dang.
Wow.
So it was just like, by the way, I'm in the band.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but he's rad. Pablo's like the older
States.
big brother, younger brother sometimes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He drives a lot. I appreciate that.
He drives a lot. Oh, that's super important for a band. Who the fuck's gonna? If you don't have a driver, like man, you fucked up. A bunch of people arguing about who doesn't want to drive.
That's usually the guy that hangs around.
Yeah.
You're the driver and the roadie and
you want to hang out, you drive.
Guy that fetches shit. Yeah.
No, he just loves to drive, and he just like so he's a good dude. He adds a lot to the music with the organ and stuff. So.
Yeah, I remember meeting you for the first time. It was quite a few years ago. I think we narrowed it down to 03, 04. At Chain Reaction, myself and Rob Castellon of Wiretap Records and Migrito were doing a thing called Atomic TV. This was before even YouTube and shit. I wish we would have stuck with it. We didn't, of course. And you, he hit you up. And you guys were performing there. You're like, yeah, we'll interview. So we have this interview. I'm gonna look for it too. And
nah,
post it.
You don't have to.
I'm telling you, it was
Nah,
like it was
cool.
the coolest thing. Bro. You had your mohawk back then.
Yeah,
And,
the thing with like stuff like that, it's like kind of looking at your pictures from the 6th grade. You know what I mean? You're
Sure.
all, "Dang,
that
no
was
one
pretty-
wants to see that
Let me
shit."
hear what I had to say back then.
Everybody wants to see it except you.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's true. That's true. Because for band, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
just I always think like that, but I think wrong because I don't know anything. You know what I mean?
No, but it was awesome, man. You just let us come out and interviewed you. We did, and then we stuck around for the show, and yeah, it was fucking badass, dude. That was my first experience of Left Alone back then.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was Chain Reaction was cool.
Yeah. And then once again, we met again at K Rock. You guys did the Dead American Radio, and that hit home for me because at the time I was like in this crazy whether I wanted to stay or not at K Rock, and I will be honest with you, man. And we spoke about this, like. They really missed an opportunity with local Latino
100%.
bands, man. And they did have a locals only show, but it was never like they never went deep into like you guys, Viernes Trece, like guys that were like
Neighborhood bands.
yeah, neighborhood bands.
Yeah, right.
And the thing is that people, I mean, and I've always used to say this, man. When you get a Latino as a fan, they stay a fan forever.
Sure.
They're
Yeah.
gonna follow you. So if they would have just, went and really, attached to you
Leaned in,
guys,
leaned in.
leaned in to that whole scene, I mean, they'd probably still be up there in ratings,
It would
But
have been.
it just-
It would have been different. It would have changed
Yeah,
something. You know what I mean? It would've
something
changed
would have
something.
definitely.
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny that song and they played it right, like.
Yeah, Dead American Radio.
That's what that song was about like how me like as a songwriter and thinking like we're all young and kind of like just thinking that if you write a good song it'll find its way there, and then you get signed and then you see how machines work and how it's really not about it doesn't have to be about the song. Some songs obviously make it because they're great, but there's so much behind it.
Yeah.
There's so much that has to be there, and that's why that record's called that, and that's why that song says what it says.
And it's crazy that that's the song
That they
that
played.
found its
Yeah,
way.
of course.
And,
It's like
and played.
poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like in life.
No, yeah, but it was awesome. That was again meeting you there, and then
Yeah.
continuing the friendship, and then seeing you go to with Hellcat, and then with Tim, and doing those stuffs, and also doing now Manic Hispanic. We talked with
Yeah.
Ephraim 2 weeks ago about
That's
that.
a trip.
No, yeah.
That's a trip because Steve Soto, rest in peace, when he was alive, he asked me to join, and I couldn't because I do too much. I mean, I got a lot of shit going on. I moved to the mountains, like, it was a lot going on, and I was like, I can't. And then he was like, all right, let's start a new band. And we'll call it, like, Gracias Malverde, and we'll be like a Latino straight pop, not pop punk, but you know how he writes really catchy songs?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm with it, and he would email me little riffs and stuff. And then he kind of switched it on me, and then he was like, well, I mean, we'll just do Manic then, we'll do that. And I was like, well, I can't. Like,
Motherfucker.
yeah. But you know, like,
Yeah.
but he wanted me in the band, which was a trip. But at that moment I couldn't. And then when he passed away, they asked me to play his birthday celebration at Alex's. And then they're like, oh, here's some songs. I was like, all right. And then we played them. And then they kind of asked me to join, and I was like, all right. Like, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, yeah, he got what he wanted. I'm down. And it's fun playing in that band, and to keep his his memory and honor, and Gabby too. Like, it's a cool band because it was always kind of meant to kind of morph like that and bring in younger.
Sure.
That's kind of how they've always kind of kept it going. You have the OGs, and then you always bring some. So they put Ephraim in first, and then Louis, and then Gilbert, who's probably the personification of Manic Hispanic. That was a straight paisa cholo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I joined, and then it's been fun. The record comes out this Thursday. We have a show at Alex's, and it's just like, for me, it's fun because I don't sing. I just play guitar in the back, and I just learn all these classic punk songs, and
Sure.
I laugh whenever they joke because it's just funny, It's fun for me.
That's right.
When Ephraim was in here, he really kind of changed my mind about Manic Hispanic, like continuing and all that stuff without Gabby, without fucking Steve. And he was like, do you think Gabby doesn't want people talking about him? Like, do you think that he doesn't
Yeah.
want these songs played and to gather up a bunch of people and talk about him? And I was like, fuck, that's totally what Gabby wants. It's like, and when he told me that the families want, it's like, all right, then. Like,
Yeah,
this is...
and Steve, like, picked us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Steve had an array of people that, he's an OG.
Sure.
And he knows a lot of people that would be like, come on, I'm better than
Please,
them.
can I be
Please,
in-
I'm
yeah,
way
yeah.
better than that. I'm like, yeah, he is. But he was more like, he knew that everyone's role. He wanted to put people in certain situations. Yeah, it worked out. I'm stoked with it. The record, it's his last record that he did with them and finished, and I'm just like happy to release it to the people, you know, because they've released songs on YouTube, but now it's like officially on vinyl and it's on CD and it's gonna be on Spotify because a lot of the stuff isn't.
Yeah,
so I'm
totally
really happy to like get that going in the right direction for them because that's kind of what I like to do a lot. You know?
So once again, if people listening in, where can we go to this show? You said Alex's Bar.
Alex's Bar. I think there's like, I'm not even kidding, like 10 tickets left or something. I mean, it's San Diego sold out last Saturday, and Alex is the album release show with 13 Dead and Dry, one of my favorite bands from the South Bay, and it's gonna be really good. Neighborhood Brats, I believe, also. So it's just 3 bands, and it's gonna be really a good show.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked already. Steve, buy tickets now. Get tickets.
Yeah,
And also when
I got tickets here if you guys want to buy some.
Oh, see, true fucking hustler.
hustle, DIY hustle.
I got VIP ones too.
I'll take a ticket and a cigarette if you have it.
I do.
That's what I wanted to say.
I got cell phone cases and I got those like covers for your glass. You know what I mean? I got those too.
hell yeah.
And I got socks. I got a lot of socks.
This was
we
better
have-
than Swap Me, by the way.
Yeah, whenever we have people in here, like same with Ephraim, same with all these dudes, that and this is different because I personally have watched it. Dudes that fucking I watched grind and I watched hustle and sacrifice for the life of doing whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a hard way to make an easy living. You know, like it's a super hard way to do whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah.
And that shit has all my respect in the world, you know? So, like, fucking props to you for being able to fucking still be out there, still doing it, still living that fucking outlaw pirate life, you know? Like,
Yeah,
super
I'm lucky.
punk rock DI. You're not lucky.
No,
it's not
yeah,
luck.
yeah.
No.
You're fortunate. You are fortunate. You are not lucky. You know what I mean?
Fortune
Like,
is just like a
lucky means you
more
didn't do...
sophisticated way of saying lucky.
Lucky means you didn't do anything for it. Fortunate means you put yourself in the position for these good things to happen
Well,
to you.
there's a little bit of talent, a lot of hard work, and some luck or being fortunate. But you got to be there at the right place, at the right time. When I was hit up by the label, it was at the Pontiac Silverdome parking lot where Andre the Giant got slammed. Yeah, calm
Yeah.
down. He got all happy. He got all happy.
That was last week's show.
He's all, oh my God, Andres.
That was last week's show,
So
bro.
we were check it out. We were doing a barbecue there. It was like a party because we had just come back from Canada, and there's a lot of people, like 500 people in a parking lot. We're cooking. I'm smelling like barbecue sauce, and Pablo, my organ player, who wasn't my organ player at the time, just starts DJing reggae stuff. And then Tim came up and he started talking to me and stuff, and that's when it kind of like started. But where was it? Was it in L.A.? No. Was it like, Orange County? No, it was like in Michigan.
Hell yeah.
Because I was there, So you have to kind of, I did give up a lot. I mean, I quit my job, which was easy, but, you leave that like every 2 weeks or every Friday paycheck, you leave those comforts and you
Safety.
You go live in a van and you go like, and hopefully this shit works and hopefully these songs are good enough. But then it just becomes what you are and what you do. And I don't know, I consider myself fortunate, but I consider myself lucky. And it's there's a lot of ingredients into it. A lot of my band members put in a lot of work, and in certain eras, certain things had to happen. But yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah, you know what? Luck is opportunity met with hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Like, same thing with myself. Like, I met Lightning a few years before I got on the radio, and it was just, through just fucking sheer...
Also, a lot of people get lucky and fuck it up.
Oh, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Get
For
put
sure.
in the position to make something cool happen, and they step on their dick and fuck it all
I
up.
did that the
you
first
know?
time I was at K-Rock. Or the first, I was on the Kevin and Bean, then I did overnights, then they were like, okay, it's not going to work. And then I had to work my way back to get back on. And then when I got back on, I was like, I'm leaving on my terms.
Yeah.
And then now I do Michelada Rumble and stuff. But yeah, dude, like, it's just
And how
hard
did you
work.
start on K-Rock?
Through Lightning. I used to do a magazine called Dirt Pilot, and he's really into racing. And we met Lightning, and 2 years into the friendship with Lightning, Big Tad had left, and Lightning was like, hey, do you want to be on the radio? I was like, fuck yeah. And he's all, tomorrow, be here at the station at fucking 5 a.m. You're going to do interview live on the air with Kevin and Bean. So I get there, and it's 7 a.m. He opens the door to the studio and introduces me as Super Steve. And from that day forward, boom, that was it.
Super.
That was it. And first Latino on there, doing overnights and being on the Kevin and Bean, the #1 show at the time. It was amazing, dude.
That's
It was
cool.
But like we were talking earlier, they missed their boat with with really reaching out to that Latin community and really grasping.
Hungry Latin community.
There's so many good bands with so many good, like, with so much potential, you know?
Yeah. And you know, they did play here and there 1 or 2 or 3 songs, you know, but they never really like took hold
Like
of
this is
it.
gonna be our scene now. You know,
And
like
it should have
let's
been. It
back
should have
this.
been.
Yeah.
I mean, this was what K-Rock was made to do.
Right, local LA good bands.
Because like you
We're
said,
gonna-
we go see your shows, and you know, whether it's in Wilmington, whether it's in you know, at the Chain Reaction, wherever it is,
Yeah.
you never saw K-Rock there. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That was the issue.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought about. That's why I feel that they've really, you know, dropped. But who knows what could have been.
Zach, what do you want?
I'm about to say we have Zach Rabbit Lopez calling in right now to the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. What's up, Zach Rabbit Lopez?
I love how Johnny was the only one who didn't forget about me. There.
No,
No.
we knew you were there. We were just
Yeah.
trying to hope you hung up.
I was just trying to wait for the perfect moment to segue into the Zach Rabbit Lopez.
And thanks for taking the call after the 7th call. But you know,
Are you gonna complain or talk? Let's go. Man. What do you want?
all right. I wanted to ask the question. How did you get my boy Sammy Reese on this Ranted tour? I wanted to hear the backstory to this.
Oh, I know Sammy from when he was in the Bad Luck Bandits when I tried to sign him and his manager got all weird. And then I've always kept in contact with him because he's such a great songwriter and I like he's a great artist too. He designed one of our shirts. And so in the 2019 Rancid Bash tour, I had my own stage that was like the acoustic stage that I was running. So then I'd invite artists from different cities and then we'd have like a sign-up sheet, kind of like an open mic.
Sure.
And then we'd have the Tim Fender acoustic Hellcat guitars there. So you just had to roll up and just sign up while it was like a beer garden kind of thing. So I've had them there from like noon to like 4 before the main stage opened. And dude, to see people just go like on little drinks, like little, you know what I mean, drinking little heavy ass beers or whatever. So then I hit up Sammy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm down." I hit up Joey Briggs too. I hit up a lot of people. Scotty from the Potato Pirates. So every town I have friends, you know, and I would be like, "Yeah, guys, I got these shows. You guys want to do this and this and that?" And they were like, "All right." And then I think Sammy went to Utah or he went to one show. And then I was like, "Hey, you want to just go to the next one?" To Denver for like 2 nights. And he was like, "All right." So then he just got in the Left Alone van and he just rolled with.
So
yeah.
it seems like people in your band just like they just show up and then they're in the band.
Trip out on this. We were in Japan and this is how I met one of my best friends. We were in Japan playing and we see this like skinny white dude in the back with the big old fro in Japan. You know, he stands out like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So my drummer, Kyle at the time, was like, "Yo, who's that?" We kind of go check him out after the show. He's like, "Oh, my name's Andrew Wixon. I'm here working for Sony." He was part of a publishing, whatever, songwriting thing. I was like, "Cool, he's from the Valley." So I was like, "Hey, you want to finish the tour with us?" He's like, "All right." So we're driving, and then like our tour manager looks back, and she was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh, he's finishing the tour with us," and we've been like really good friends since. He's a good dude. So.
That's
But
awesome.
I found him in Japan.
I'm getting a feeling that Elvis is gonna be here next week.
Sure, just a
On this
collector.
show.
man,
Hey,
just
what's
a
up, guys?
collector.
I'm here.
I'm on this now,
Dude,
right?
I do too much.
Yeah.
I do too
He's
much.
off in the mountains now.
Yeah.
You're a person that can never say no.
I say it all the time. You just
But it
don't-
just doesn't-
I just say it low key.
Yeah.
I'm like no.
Yeah, but they still keep coming.
Nah, I mean, you know, it's. I like to do stuff, but not too much. I'm not trying to. You know.
What's I say? If you want something done, give it to the busy guy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
busy people get shit done.
Yeah.
Somebody doing nothing doesn't get anything done.
That guy,
you know?
did that guy hang up?
Yeah,
Or-
he just hung up right now.
He's
Thanks,
like-
Zach, for
then
calling in.
He's like, "That's not the answer I
He
wanted."
got it. Trust me, if that wasn't the answer he wanted, he would have let us know.
That answer went from like 2002 or 3 all the way to like 19. That was pretty good. I kind of.
There you go.
Sammy,
Went on a journey.
Sammy's a good artist. I like him a lot.
Thank you-
Ghosts of LA.
Thank you, Zach, for calling in. And by the way, shout out to everyone. Sandra, saludos. We see you out there on Facebook. Julie says the West Coast Punk Pop Lock Podcast.
right.
That's a lot of P's. Oscar, we see you out there. What's up, Oscar? He's a big fan of Elvis and,
Hi,
and his
Oscar.
crew. Julie said that she needs tickets and Steve to get her too. She'll Venmo you, she says on there.
So let's go back to like 05.
All right.
So as you have, or even before that,
All right.
when you're like, Hellcat. Like that's where.
Well, that goes back to the 90s.
Sure. So I'm saying, like, as Left Alone gets put together, as having a band, be like, and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, we're thinking about getting signed. All right, we have that. Obviously, a fucking Hellcat. Like to me, that's the obvious. And so you have your eyes on that.
Yeah.
And as that becomes more of a possibility, and then a reality, how is that going in your mind? Like, I guess in my mind, it's like, fuck, like being pumped. Like this is happening. This is working. You know?
Yeah, so back then I wrote like all the things I wanted to do with the band, and I gave my first demo cassette in '98 on the Warped Tour in Texas, because everyone told me like you can't really like find band members to give it to in LA because they're always with their families or there's always press.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I had just gotten laid off from a job, so I used the unemployment, rented a car, got two of my friends, drove to Texas because we were gonna get there and sorry Kevin Lyman, we were gonna sneak in because we didn't have money, so we're gonna get there early. Kevin Lyman started that shit.
Yeah.
And we get there, and there's like, oh, it's at where the Astros play, the
Sure.
Dome.
The
Astrodome,
So
yeah.
it's in the place, so we can't get in. So, so I go to a Kmart, and I unplug the Coke machine, and I'm doing my mohawk on the reflection of the thing, right? Because I'm ready. I'm gonna go to the show somehow. And I'm sitting on the curve like 6 in the morning, like this shit's never gonna happen. My dudes are asleep in the car, like we don't care. And this guy walking by, he looked like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. And he looks at me, he's like, that's what he looked like. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I told him. He's like, oh, I'm in one of the bands. I'll put you on the list. What's your name? Trip Out. And I was like, okay. I wake them up. I'm like, guys, we're gonna, whatever. So I get there.
We did it. Like, guys, we're
See,
in. We did it.
It's always these little steps.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I'm in line. And there's just like older couple in front of me, and the guy kind of looks like Colonel Sanders, like just like an old school, like in white with the white hair. I'm like tripping out. And they're really nice. They start talking to me like, "What's your name?" And they're like, "Oh, we're here to see our son." I think it was the Reverend Horn Heat's parents, right? So I'm
man.
just in line at the will call, right? I've never been on a guest list like a real one. So I get there. I've been in backyards, you know what I mean? You just sneak in through the side. That's the guest list shit. And so I give him my license or whatever, and then she hands me 3 tickets and then 3 backstage passes. Yeah, I still have it sewn onto one of my early jackets. Yeah.
Damn.
So then I get this, and I had my little disposable cameras. I have photos of like Bad Religion, Rancid, Hepcat, a couple other bands. I mean, that's the show where Fat Mike from NoFX was mad that they were playing indoors and it sounded like shit because there was like an echo.
Mm-hmm.
So he grabbed his guarantee, which was $5,000, and he just threw it in the crowd. And it was like, so then the guy goes, if you want, I'll put you. Oh, so I saw Tim there, and I had seen him at the Warped Tour in San Diego, and I was like, oh, and he was kind of like, oh, all right. And I was like, here's my tape. Sorry ass, cheap ass. Like, you know what I mean? Recorded live at the Roxy. Like, it was just bad. When I look at it now, I'm like, but I was like, oh, I got, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I thought. Like, you just keep trying to do the new stuff, and then you just kind of like, here's the next one until something happens. And then, so then I saw the whole show, and then my dudes were like, yo, let's go back home. And I was like, no, we got tomorrow. They're like, nah, we're out. And I was like, all right. Well, I did what I came to do.
Yeah.
So I just drove home, like, happy from, like, Houston? Yeah, from Houston Astrodome.
Damn.
Happy as fuck, dude. Returned the car back, and I was like, oh, that's right, I don't have a job. So that was, like, the beginning of starting. And then as the years progressed, we record better material. But from them to, like, when it happened, I think it was, like, 7 years. So it was just putting out my own records, having little labels. We got offered some deals, and I was like, nah, because they wanted to take the publishing, or they wanted, like, just not good deals.
Yeah.
And even back then, I was a little smart.
Dude, that's, I would like to stop and say Smelvis Records.
Yeah.
Like, before you had a record label,
Yeah.
before that was like a thing that people had their own record
Out of
label,
necessity, because I would get, like, Hellcat said no thank you on the letter. I have 3 of them. And then Fat Records, they had a dope one. I still have it. I just found it. It says, like, it checks your bands off. Like, oh, you're not Nirvana. Or, like, keep working at McDonald's. One day you'll be the fry guy. And then they're all funny. They're all funny, but kind of, I mean, if they check that one off.
they're dicks. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But ours said, like, oh, your band's good. No, really, but keep sending us your stuff. And I was like, all right, well, I'm in the right direction, I guess. So I just kept kind of chugging along, starting to book little shows outside of my cities, outside of the state, little by little, kind of trying to like do stuff, and then it just kind of slowly but surely just started rolling.
I love that people like you that don't see it as you're like, yeah, I had to do it. Like there was when a lot of people would have gone, oh well, that didn't work. I guess like the thing that I'm trying to do doesn't work. I guess I'll stop doing it, or I guess I'll do something else. As opposed to thinking, oh well, for this to work, I just have to put it out myself, and that's what has to happen. And so that's what I'll do. Like that's not the mentality that a lot of people have.
Yeah, and it comes from like the DIY punk thing, from being Mexican, also to kind of always have that like you can do it yourself, or you can figure out a way to do it. So I was like, all right, well then.
That shit is fucking inspiring as fuck.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna start a band.
Not a band, but my version of that. Like I have to do my version of that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fucking.
No, and I get that too, because I like comedy a lot, and like if I wasn't a musician, I'm not funny, but I would want to do that just because I think it's part of the same world.
Sure.
And it's a lot of grinding. Like when I play acoustic, like I don't care if 10 people are there, 1 person's there. I'm working out the song the way you guys work out the joke. And so then I'll bring the song after I think I'm kind of doneish with it. Then I'll bring it to the band. And then they're very good to be like, nah, that's a solo song. Or then they'll be like, no, yeah, that one. We want that one. You know?
Yeah.
And they're good, and I trust them with that. As to before, I was like, they're all my kids. They're all pretty.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they're like, not that one. That one's fucking ugly. You know what I mean? So
Well, what's good for you?
yeah. So they're that filter that helps me out. But yeah, I get the comedy thing. That's dope. It's hard, dude, huh?
I mean, it sucks. You know, like it sucks sometimes. It's what you were talking about, like just the LA thing. Like this is where you come when you're done, not when you come when you're started. You know?
Yeah.
So, but just like you're saying, but it's all super worth it. Like even because I've been like this month since COVID. This month, I booked a couple shows, but having like 3 shows in the last couple weeks, that's like a fucking.
Yeah.
For me, that's like holy shit.
It's like you're on tour.
Oh my god! But I remember even in however long ago when we first started, thinking like I'm not even booked on shitty shows. Like it's gonna be a while before I even level up to that. And now being here right now, I'm like, now look at me. Remember when I was talking about wanting to be booked on shitty shows? Like I'm fucking being booked on these shows. And so now to see that. I leveled up one. I leveled up.
It's very similar.
Right, where you look at where you go to horrible shows, you're like, but you're not on it. It's like, well, I wish I could fucking be on it. Like I was like,
or like thinking like I remember when we would drive to we play the Roxy, but we would rent out the Roxy and do our own show, right?
Yeah.
And we would sell it out, similar to how you do your Michelada. You take over the thing.
Hell yeah.
We would do that, and then we'd go to the knitting factory. And then we'd do all 3. Like we would always work. And I remember I would drive by for inspiration. I would stop at the Epitaph Records.
Sure.
And just park outside and just like imagine what it looked like in there.
That's
like,
so fucking cool.
Often. I remember one of my girlfriends was like, yeah, enough with this shit. I was like, you'll see. One day I'm gonna make it. But I mean, that was part of the thing. I'd stop the van and I'd just look in there and be like, and I remember I just. From growing up on that music from the 90s, all the when the shit broke, and like imagining like everyone's in there with the mohawk and they're fucking drinking 40s and working like it's the shit. You know what I mean? Just little kid shit. And you walk in there, it's like, hello. I'm like, all chill. Like,
welcome to Epitaph.
Do you want a coffee? I'm like, yes. Do you want some promos? I remember they used to have a promo area where you just fucking like,
The first story that I've ever heard about Epitaph was because Scott Sylvia, his tattooer, was roommates with Lars.
Oh,
and so
right.
And so they come down here and they go to the fucking warehouse and the promos and they're
The
like, you guys,
promos.
and they took everything, like everything that was there. It's like we're just gonna scoop. It's like we can have whatever we want to. Oh fucking, I'm taking fucking everything.
And the guy there, he'd just be like.
Yeah, like whatever.
He's like cutting more of the barcodes and just refill what you're taking. The cool thing about Epitaph was like when you walk in, there was like a big old V8 motor. Kind of like from the old Epitaph, like Summer National shirt with the shifter and all that, and that was like the receptionist desk. It's dope.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
That's what you have to do, though. You have to go and you have to visualize and you have to keep that dream alive within yourself.
All I've heard,
you know what I'm saying?
All I've heard is you say, "Here's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to happen, and here's how I made it happen." Like that is.
But that's what you
Yeah, I
have
hope
to
that
do.
doesn't sound like if I'm bragging.
No,
Oh, no, that's
it's not
inspiration,
bragging.
man.
It's like, do you know how you do it? This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You set your intentions, and then you go out there.
Yeah,
and you
back
fucking-
then I wrote like everything that I wanted to do, and I've done pretty much everything, and I'm grateful for it. But it did take a lot of work, and you also give up a lot, though. You give up a normal home life. You give up a real paying job. You see your friends like, they start having kids, or like they start evolving. Some of them for the better, some of them, like, everyone's different. But then you notice, like, oh shit, I'm different. Like, I'm not part of this whole crew. You know what I mean? I am. We're friends. We'll always hang out, but I'm a little different. And it's kind of cool because music is kind of, I don't know, like, it's been such a big part of my life, from booking shows to like putting out people's records to like doing my own thing or playing acoustic. Like, it's all encompassing of what I've always wanted to do. And whether I do this today and not something until I practice next week or Thursday's show, I always get these like little bumps of joy like through the weeks, through the months, because like this is all I've ever wanted to do.
Right.
That's it. You know?
Yeah.
That's
And that's what the show's about, man. We always talk about it every time we have a guest, and even if we don't, it's about inspiring people to continue on to their dreams, man. Because like, it's happened for me, and it's happening for Johnny, and it's happened for Johnny because he's always done what he's wanted to do, and he's continuing. And every guest that we have here, you're just letting the listeners know that it is work.
Yeah, just because you're getting what it is you set out to do, like, that doesn't mean that there isn't sacrifices. That doesn't mean that it doesn't suck sometimes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you don't.
Oh yeah.
You know, like having what that doesn't mean.
But there's these choices that you have to make to be able to put yourself in these positions. Like I never wanted a new car. I've always had an old '63 Nova or a Chevy Nova from like the '60s. Whenever I would check out cars, it'd be like vans, the tour. You know, the first car I ever like purchased, like newish or whatever, was a van. Like, I've never been like, oh, I need the new Camaro, or I need them, because also I knew that was an anchor, that would like, now I'd have to have a job all the time, or like I couldn't just go from tour to tour to tour to tour and in between do stuff until it kind of got better. But yeah, you have to make these choices where, again, you see your friends and like new rides or something. It's cool, but you're like, oh, I'm on some different shit.
Not my path.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't need that.
Yeah.
You have
but
to,
it's a choice though you make.
Yeah.
Whether you're making it at that time, it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a roommate who's also a comic, and when it like shit gets rough, it's like, just because like the plan is still the plan. Just because like you're in the thick of it and it starts getting, it's like, no, this is still, we're just still on the plan. We're still on the path, man. We made the plan.
Yeah.
Now we're walking. You got to execute the plan. That takes time.
And I think I know who you're talking about.
Huh?
Your roommate.
Yeah.
And I seen him years ago.
How many roommates do you have?
Two. Well, I seen him years ago do the stand-up.
Yeah.
And I recently seen him again, and I was like, holy shit, this guy got fucking good. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I mean, it could take some time, and you have to be willing to sacrifice.
It takes time. You like, when I listen, like to compare it to music or your first sets or your first jokes, like those first songs or your first jokes, you can go through them and be like, eesh. Or you can be like, oh, there's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah. Or this is a song that everyone would request or would sing along to when we're playing backyards. And then it morphs into like, oh shit, this is way better, or it's different. But you see these little jumps, and you have to have those to kind of keep going. Because if they're everything's a dud, you're a dud, fool. You know? And you can't have that. You just got to keep at it. I think, but putting in the time, I don't know how people do it now with everyone so busy with their phones and like all this stuff and I'm guilty of it too. It's not like I'm some kind of savior, but it must be a lot harder because back then it was like kind of that's all you had. I remember when we sold out the Roxy on the streets of Wilmington CD release show in 2002, Cinco de Mayo, I think, or May 2nd, 2002. I was counting the money on the floor of the bathroom, and I was like, I paid all the bands, Viernes, Chencha, like all these bands, and we still had like good amount. Paid for the pressing of the CD or whatever, and the next day I bought my first cell phone because I was like a businessman at that point. I was like, shit. I left work early. That's when I used to work, whatever. And I was like, fucking got me a Nokia with the fucking worm thing.
That's
I was
right.
like, because I'm booking shit.
Yeah.
I just sold out the Roxy, and it's funny, but that was important because it was also paying me off in my way of like, okay, that was something. Okay, what's next? And that was like 2002, and then the next year I was on the roadie as a Warped Tour, and then the next. So that means there was like these little jumps that you always have to have.
You have to celebrate those victories. You know what I'm saying? To keep you hungry to go on to the next one.
And to be able to see them. To be able to see the little bit like, this is where I'm at. This is a win. You know,
that's what my business partner tells me from each of that room. Was like, yo, man, you have to, because it's just grind. Goes, you have to celebrate the victory to continue the grind. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. And that's one thing that I do have, not issues with, but a problem is like really going out there and rewarding myself for the work that we've put in. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting better. We're getting better. Little Cabo trip maybe. Once this shit's over, once all this pandemic's over. But we have Josh Cram saying, how many songs did you write for Pink?
Oh, that's Josh. Yeah. I think for Pink, no, I didn't. But those are really good songs. Those are something. I could play it. What's the trouble? No attorneys.
And then Megan says you helped her with her dream. Megan Anderson.
Elvis is the best dude out there. Thanks for everything.
Oh, cool, man. I'm glad people help me. There's been some people that have always helped me, and like I don't forget that, and I always try to like help people, even sometimes when they're like, this is the thing that bugs me. All right, you guys ready? Dim the
I'm
lights.
ready.
You guys dim the lights. Bring out the incense. So if you ask me for my advice or my opinion, and you don't even listen to me, not to do it, but my points, because somebody be like, oh, what about this? What do you think about this? I'm like, oh, I think this, and this. All right, cool. We're still going to do it, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
Why
I
even
wonder
ask
if
me?
they, yeah. But I like to help and listen, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I was like that, too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We're all probably like that. But I'm like, because I try to, like, really help, and I try to, like, break it down, and I try to use metaphors, too, like, think of it as a pizza.
No, but there's
and
people
you
there's people that don't.
and you're adding toppings that suck.
There's
Don't put those.
hilarious.
Stick to the basics.
There's
Yeah.
people that don't want that ask for help.
Yeah.
But are not looking for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
they're looking for you
I'm
to.
figuring that out.
You know,
I'm
like,
figuring that out because I think like, okay, I'll help you, and then I try to, and it's like, oh, you're not. Oh.
a dude I used to work for who was a tattooer. Like
Mm.
he's fucking an incredible tattooer. And when people would ask him, "Hey, can you take a look at my portfolio?"
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like, "Do you really want me to take a look at your portfolio? Like, you know, like are you? Because if you're asking me,
I'm about to
I
fucking
will
light it up.
I know, but I'm gonna tell you the truth about everything good and
But
bad
you need
you're
to
doing.
hear that.
Right? But it's like, and if that's not what you're looking for, don't ask me to look at it. You know, and then have you like. Yeah, no, I want you to. It's like, all right, here we go. You know, but like looking for that because you need to hear those things. Like I whenever, because like I am not like with my level of stand up. I always say that it's like to compare it to guitar. It's like I know I'm doing it, but I have to stare at the strings. Like, you know, it's like I'm
Yeah.
there, but I have to. And I would love for somebody who knew what the fuck they were doing to take me aside and go, look, this is how you're fucking up. Like, you know, and so that kind of asking and receiving, I would fucking love that.
I can understand how it could be a little like a bum out, like if someone tells like, hey, dude, check this out. Because I've had people kind of like, you know, bring me aside. I remember one time fucking tattooed in my head forever. In a good way. We were on a tour. This badass band that like, one of my favorite bands just hits us up. And right when we were kind of like, not really known, but they were like, yo, we'll take you on tour. And we went over our set time 2 minutes. Homie, I got lit up like fucking fire. Like, let me talk to you real quick. And I was like, oh, what's up? All sweaty. Like,
Sure.
you know, crowd was good. And I was like, what's up, man? He's going to tell me that we're going to go on another tour.
Yeah.
He was like, listen to me. What you did today will never happen again, right? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you went over 2 minutes. So now they have to rush because you went over 2 minutes. And da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, shit. I was just making a set list last night at practice with Left Alone. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's a 45-minute set. I think I'm going to kick it at about 40 minutes. You
Sure.
know? Because I never want to go in that world again because it is disrespectful. And sometimes when people ask us to play another song, it's not that I don't want to. It's just I don't want to go over our time because it's fucked up. There's an etiquette and there's a lot of fucking like rules to this, like to the music thing, to the comic thing. You just don't do that because it's disrespectful. And even if the crowd's like one more or something, you just don't because
Sure.
you fuck it up for these guys and they're after you or above you. So they're just like, you know.
There's a whole thing going on that
Yeah.
isn't just you.
But I learned that shit in 06 and I never forgot it. And when we play our last song, I always look at the time. And that was helpful. At the time, I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, why is he tripping? And then I was like, oh.
Not,
okay.
and this isn't an ego thing. This
No.
isn't anything. This is how this machine works.
Yeah.
And
you're part of
fucking up
it.
the machine.
Just don't. Yeah, you're one of the gears. You're fucking it up. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good lesson to learn, you know.
Yeah.
And you took it correctly as opposed to being like, hey, fuck you. you
Yeah,
know?
right. Exactly.
I'm
Fuck
outta
you, it's
here.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck
Break
you,
a
it's
bottle.
2 minutes.
What?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just hate
yeah,
us because
yeah.
we're better.
Right. Fuck you. Nah, I was greatly. Every time I see him, I don't tell him, but I'm like, I remember.
Dude, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That shit is fun. Those conversations that will never leave your mind, no matter how hard you try to make them.
Yeah.
Those are always the best, bro. Even in radio, we had some of those times where I used to get super smashed at a broadcast, and then one of my best friends, Brad, who's also my business partner, is like, yo, bro, you need to fucking you still need to be professional.
Your work, man.
You're working.
Yeah.
This is your persona, and if people just see you smashed, they'll be like, this guy's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
The people will love you,
Yeah.
but the professional people that are behind the scene will be like, oh, this guy just fucking comes over here and gets all fucked up. But you know.
I'm sober a few years now, and the difference and what you pick up also in that world, and when you're faded, you think everything's cool, or you might say something dumb, and you think it's funny. I'm super sarcastic, and I always think I'm funny, but I'm not to some people.
Sure.
I got one band member all the time. He's like, "Are you playing?" Or I can't figure you out. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm always playing.
Yeah, I'm just
I got
kidding,
another
dude.
guy that through text, he'll just pick up the phone and call me. Hey man, that last text you sent, are you tripping or no? Dude, I'm
God.
always
How did you
playing.
mean that?
How many times we have to have this conversation, man? I'm
Yeah.
not fucking tripping. Really.
But
I
again,
think
that's
it's
why I
me.
hate text too.
Yeah, sure,
I mean, you
sure,
can
sure.
read that however you want to interpret it, so it's always kind of
All I
hard.
wrote was hello.
Oh.
yeah.
Why you mad, bro?
What are you doing? No, but it's kind of good that you kind of get that perspective because we've all been there, and you just got to show up proper. All my favorite bands or all my favorite professional people fucking get up early, do
Sure.
certain things. They handle shit proper, and everyone has a day off or whatever, but those are the examples that I like to use in my world where it's oh, these motherfuckers are legit. This guy doesn't have a drink till after, or till after he's done. Then it's celebratory. I get that. And before I was like, it's punk rock, it's fucking everything all the time. This is what it is. It's no, it's not.
Yeah.
It is in a certain level.
Absolutely.
And you can be that in other levels, but you have to pick and choose your battles. I guess.
How's performing sober?
So it was scary. It was definitely different. It was because you thought you use it as a crutch, and then I need this to play good or to get into it or to write songs, because you get used to that shit on tour.
Of course.
You always got this in your hand. You know what I mean? It's just always a cup. And it was hard in the beginning, but then that's when I started playing more acoustic because I wanted to just be just that's about as naked as you can get.
Naked.
You know.
I was going to say vulnerable, up there naked.
And sometimes I
vulnerable.
would show up to certain spots where I knew there was an open mic, and I just asked to play, and I'd play a couple songs, and then sometimes if no one was there, or if they were go ahead, play longer, and that helped kind of develop the acoustic thing and more of a confidence of just I don't really need to get faded or just what you get used to. It's fucking weird, man.
I remember the first time I saw Left Alone. I mean, I know it was the first time. You had a full bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yep.
And fucking started and I was like, I can't believe he's drinking.
It was a
this.
bottle of Jack a day, man.
Yeah, I was like, this fool's up there murdering
A
this
day.
bottle right now.
Thinking everything's cool, but
Of course, look it.
But
Of
see, that's the
course.
thing. But that's the thing, though.
That's some
To get
Chente
here,
shit.
yeah. To get here, I had to be there, and I'm grateful for that, and some great times and stuff. But you have to evolve. You have to kind of hopefully, I'd be sad as fuck if I
Right.
showed up here with a fucking bottle of Jack, be like spring
still-
break, and you guys are dude, it's
The
almost
interview
winter.
would have gone very different.
Yeah. Now I saw the stuff in there, and I was like, and I was it's just different,
Yeah.
But I'm grateful, and some of my band members some of them are sober, some of them get faded. Some of the most OG hardcore motherfuckers are sober, and that's kind of a cool thing to see because,
Especially as you get older.
there's another side of the coin.
Yeah, as you get older, and you see
Yeah.
all these older, cool ass fucking sober dudes fuck. So it's damn, what's up, man?
It is. It's what do they know? It's they got the cheat
They
code and
wake up
shit.
at 5:00. Wake up at 5:30 and fucking work out and everything. It's what
Hit
the
a bike
fuck?
ride
Yeah,
real
what the
quick.
fuck is going on?
Wow.
man?
my
I think what
God.
it is, you get it out of your fucking system, then you realize how bad the shit you're fucking doing to your body anyway,
Maybe.
and either you're gonna die young, all fucked up, or you're gonna fucking clean your shit up and to live a little bit longer and get healthier along
Well,
the
that's
way.
the dream, right? To die young. That was kind of. Well, that's not your guys'.
Yeah.
No one
That's
said
just
anything. I was all just kidding.
No, I got yeah, for sure.
No, but you have that thing because it's very romantic to your heroes and shit. And I'm, you know, like
To just go wild, yeah.
Yeah, and then you realize,
Like, fuck.
and then you realize once you pass their age, like, oh fuck, 27.
These are kids.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are kids.
Killing it, literally. Like they were doing they're like just
Fucking
heavyweights of that shit.
Selena was 23.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is a child. You know, like it's fucking.
Anything for
Yeah.
Selena. Anything. Yeah, but yeah, that's even younger. So then you kind of, you know, you just kind of. I'm lucky.
Yeah. That one is luck.
I'm lucky I found my way.
That one is luck.
I'll tell you what is lucky. It's going to be the West Coast Pop Block Podcast and all you West Coasters out there, because we're going to get a live performance from Elvis tonight for the first time ever on the
West
Pop
Coast.
Block
Breaking ground.
Punk Rock Podcast.
Yeah.
Live.
I'm gonna play sad songs though. So
Hell
That's all
yeah.
good. Play
bring
what
out
you
the
want.
fucking the Kleenex and
I'm
shit.
ready to be
Bro,
affected.
Trust me. I'm already ready to go. I got fucking pinned up fucking sadness ready
What
to go.
happened?
God.
What did she do? What happened? Dim the lights. ¿Qué pasó?
Once again, so this coming up weekend, I'm sorry, or Alex's Bar. When is that again?
Thursday.
night.
Manic Hispanic album release show at Alex's Bar. There's only a few tickets left. They're probably gone
Less
by
than
now.
10.
I'm gonna buy them and then sell them back on eBay. or something.
Damn.
Flipping.
Yeah.
I'll stand outside of my own show. Be like,
You guys want to
Extra
come in or what?
Any tickets?
I'll get you the VIP. I'll walk you through the side.
And as far as like your projects, I mean, any new songs coming out, any new albums, anything? I mean,
Yeah, Left Alone just released an album in April.
Ooh.
We're finishing up a couple more videos, and the idea was to release it again, but do all the songs in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So, because we released a couple songs and they do pretty good, and I've always wanted to do that, so we might do something with that. I'm gonna finish my other solo project record thing that I'm doing. Most of the songs have been recorded, so but I wrote some more, so then I'll do that, and then just kind of working on that. I have O&K. I'm releasing the record in October. This is a band from LA area. I have Scalloween coming. This is the 20th year anniversary. It's been 20 years of that
So
shit.
fucking cool, man.
Yeah, we're doing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're doing Riverside and then LA in October, and releasing a compilation for that and a whole line of merch. So I mean, just busy with music. Yeah.
Where can we hunt you down to get all this latest and greatest information? Is it like one site for everything, or do we have to go individual for like Manic Left Alone for your personal
Yeah,
projects?
everyone kind of has their own world. It's my solo thing, which is just me, my name, and then Left Alone, Manic Hispanic, Elvis Records, Road Dog merch. Yeah.
You guys got to go out, like, subscribe, buy the shit, go to the show, sneak in, do what you got to fucking do, and support the fucking music, support Elvis, support the fucking locals.
Now that it's back, right?
Yeah,
For the time being, let's rock and
Big-ass
roll.
drought.
I mean, yeah.
It's a drought. Yeah, it's been weird, but it's good. You know, shows are happening. We're doing Punk Rock Bowling at the end of the month.
There we go.
And then we're doing Punk in the Park in November. That's Left Alone. And then we're playing October 22nd at the Glass House.
Are you playing Saturday or Sunday?
Domingo, but we'll be there both days.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we'll be there.
I'll be there on Sunday.
For what, Punk Rock Bowling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Saturday we're playing Punk Rock Bowling.
No. I'm sorry for Punk in the Park.
Punk in the Park?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Cool. I'll be
Domingo.
there Sunday, yeah. Sunday.
I'm gonna have to miss church.
Yeah, same here.
Uh-oh.
Same here. I still get in trouble for that, bro. When you're
Well,
doing up.
there's probably an app, right? I could just watch it.
Hilarious. Yeah, for sure. They're live
No,
streaming.
you know what?
They're live streaming church.
The
for
holy
sure.
water just like
Nah,
hits you.
like they used to say, tres Ave Marias and dos Padre Nuestros. You're good, bro.
That's it?
That's it. You're good.
For the week.
Yeah. That's
Get
it.
it.
Everyone out there that's missing church, that's all you got to do. You're fine. Just do that on, you know.
I bet you half these people can't even say those prayers, so they're going to be
Nah.
screwed anyway. So
Like, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Padre Nuestro.
Huh. Hell yeah.
So how long have you guys been doing this?
This is 49 episodes, so
Yeah.
just short of a year.
Whose idea was it?
Look, when I
Who asked who out? That's what I'm asking.
Right,
you.
well, it's been
This-
Who wanted to be with who?
There's been a lot of back and forth,
Oh.
but this right here was me. Like when we finally, because we did it, there was different names and different combinations of
Yeah.
people, and then we stopped doing it completely. And then I was like, Steve, like, dude, like, can we fucking?
Yeah, can we hang out?
Can we? Yeah, basically, it's like, can we
Well,
do
you
this?
know
I have
what?
nothing else. I have nothing. It was during the pandemic. I
Yeah.
was like, I have nothing fucking going on. Can we please? I'm going crazy. Can we fucking do
That's
something,
cool.
please?
Well, we like he said, like as soon as I got out of radio, we started doing other stuff, and then we, with Mario doing this, we ended up, like he said, we had multiple different, get people on here, and it just wasn't working, and people couldn't come or whatever, the names, and then one day during the pandemic, I was coming to the studio, and I was listening the day before to Joe Rogan and all those guys. I listened to their podcast, and they were just shitting on California. Like, oh, we're leaving California because of the pandemic. We're moving to Houston and all that. I was like, fuck you guys, dude. Fuck you for coming to California, LA, making it, and then fucking on the way out telling us how much it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so to me, born and raised here, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm from here. I made it here. My first ever radio gig was LA. I didn't have to go anywhere else. I started in the fucking big leagues, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the #1 radio station. So you're not going to come here and talk this shit. Now, we were fired up, came in, I go, hey, guys, we're the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, which at the time I didn't realize how fucking long that name is. And
Don't ever get a sign because it's gonna cost you a shit ton. Too many letters.
Yeah, and that day,
That's a lot of letters.
that was episode
Too many.
#1.
It's like,
And it's
That's
never
cool,
been.
though.
And Johnny's fucking awesome, and he did before even that name or before that incident. We had been coming in, and Johnny was like, "Yo, dog, like, let's fucking do this shit, bro. Like, you and I can fucking handle it. We don't need other guys here, fucking
That's cool.
tuning in and shit, like, or chiming in." And he's fucking funny as fuck. He's smart and he knows his shit. And every time we bring somebody in here, he fucking knows them. or knows someone that knows them, which makes it amazing because there's more stories there. There's like, the tattoo part of it, the music, hey, going to shows and knowing some of the same people, that always works. And Mario, of course, being a part of it as well, and having this awesome studio in the city of Compton, and, just guys that just wanted to put something together, and having guys like yourself that we know, that we consider friends, Ephraim, yourself, some of my friends from K-Rock back in the days, Marlene from the Rhythm Shakers coming out and just hanging out with us.
Elvis knows Cody too. We had Cody.
Yeah, we had
here.
Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone that just
Cody.
comes in and just, does us a favor to come out here and talk with us. And,
you guys are like a band. You guys exactly like a band, how like you start off and like some dudes aren't into it as much as you, or some life thing happens and you have to like get somebody else. But when you find the core,
yeah,
then you could do a lot of shit.
Hell
Then
yeah.
You don't
and
deal
Mario's
with...
a keyboardist, just so you know.
Oh, man.
By the way, they just found the Mexican who could do everything. That's this
what
guy.
it did, Yeah.
I know how to push buttons. Say that
Yeah,
button.
we need a button push.
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Oh, you're the guy.
Yeah, we need a button.
That's the guy. That's the guy.
So let's get into it, man.
Yeah,
Let's do
man.
some-
I changed my mind. I don't feel like playing any
Let's go.
songs.
Hey, that's
That's
right.
right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see
Yeah.
you guys next week.
We love you. Good night.
We're going to set it up right now. We're live, so we're
Yeah.
starting to keep going.
Well, in that case, Johnny, talk for a second while we get him on stage. Or you can talk about the Michelada Rumble that's coming up this weekend.
That's what's the date of that? Saturday, September 18th in Lake Paris, the
it's this
fairgrounds.
Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday in Paris at the fairgrounds. That fairgrounds is sweet. You guys can stop by and see the memorial sign for
Not
Ray
only
Lopez.
that, though, but it's like sold out.
419. Oh, I know VIP sold out.
VIP is sold out. Come on through. It's going to be a great time. Micheladas, wrestling, cars. We're going to be hanging out, man. Come have a drink, dude. I don't drink till the end.
Sure, you're working.
There you go.
No, that's the way I do it.
You're
Like
working.
all my friends from my neighborhood that I grew up in, they bring their cars out, and at the end when we're done, I go and hang out with them and have a couple beers.
Once the
and
work is
say what's
done.
up? Yeah. I've gotten in trouble with my ex-girlfriend. She's like, "Where you at? Are you still there drinking beers with your buddies?"
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've been here all day.
And you can have a beer with your buddies at Alex's this Thursday. Manic Hispanic album release. There's a few tickets left, if there are any left at all.
Yeah.
Alex already bought him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex, Elvis is.
Elvis, yeah.
He went from Alex to.
What do you call him?
I called him Alex.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck, bro.
Yeah,
you know what? You said
Alex on
Alex
your
earlier. God damn
mind.
it. God damn it.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's amazing. This is going to be our first live in studio.
Did you watch any of
performance.
the AEW pay-per-view?
No, I haven't, man. I haven't. But I've been. You know what? I've been trying to catch up on my AEW. Just try to look for it. But I've been missing it.
Sure.
I've only been seeing Impact, and
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, don't get me wrong. Those guys are.
They're trying
their
hard.
craft.
They're doing their
honing
thing.
craft.
I have respect for all professional
Yeah.
wrestlers except for one who will remain nameless. But yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Come
No,
on,
I
just say
respect
it.
Hulk Hogan's all right. There's only one.
I'm a
All right, Steve. How about this? For the first time ever, let's get that light turned off. Let's get
Oh,
sexy up in this
shit,
bitch.
man.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Can you drop out the music from him? First time, huh? Yeah. No pressure. No pressure at all. Te quiero ver hoy en la noche. Te quiero ver en la madrugada. Te quiero ver en el día y otra vez mañana. Caminando por la ciudad, oh, y solo pienso en ti. Corazones desamparados causan tanto sufrir, porque las noches son frías, largas y secas hasta el amanecer. Mil veces escribo tu nombre, ¿qué más puedo hacer? Te quiero ver hoy en la noche, te quiero ver en la madrugada, te quiero ver en el día y otra vez mañana. De bar en bar, en donde me encuentran tomando por ti. En un rincón, cantando tu canción de días cuando éramos felices. Con tequila empecé, pulque acabé, hasta que el sol regresó. Tengo tu nombre tatuado junto a mi corazón. Te quiero ver hoy en la noche. Te quiero ver en la madrugada. Te quiero ver en el día y otra vez mañana. Te quiero ver, oh, te quiero ver. Te quiero ver, oh, te quiero ver. There it is. That was it.
Hell yeah, man.
You guys ready to cry or what?
Yeah.
All right. So you had a ska band in here, you said one time, right?
Oh yeah.
7 of them with an organ, a real one?
7 was with the 3-piece horn section. There was another band with like a complete fucking organ that was just the entire band. I think that was Unsound Sunday.
Really?
Crazy. Sovereign Artist was like the 7-piece band that we had in here.
I love this thing. All right. Last night I dreamt that you were here still with me, and you looked up and smiled at me with those heart-shaped eyes. For 2 days now tomorrow, and it's the hardest pill to swallow, knowing that you lay your head in another town, and now you're gone. I just can't move on. Now you're gone. I just can't move on. sit and pray. I don't worry, I don't wonder, 'cause I know where you're headed, 'cause I know where you've been. And 2 days are better tomorrow, and now the pill is easy to swallow, 'cause it don't matter where you are, you're still the same, and now you're gone, and I'm moving on, now you're gone, and I'm moving on. And now you're gone, and I've moved on. 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 Oh my God. That was fun.
Hell yeah, man.
It is a sad one.
It was.
They're all fucking sad if you listen to the lyrics, but I hide a bit. Like, you hear like a song like, you're like, that just sounds happy, and then you're like, oh fuck, this fool wants to die. Just kidding.
You know what? A lot of songs are like that, are like the cumbia songs. They're all fucked up, and you're all dancing like.
Sorry, bro, I don't listen to cumbia.
Well, I don't either, but like, so most of them are all fucked
I
up,
don't
tragic
either, but I
songs.
hear them. I don't listen to them.
My neighbors.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Some they're hidden, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, this is pretty sad. It's about addiction. I'm in Party City. I never thought come the day I see the world through clear eyes. And in the back of my mind, I'm still pining for those nights and the deep dark times. They still come visit me, and that's when I realize that I'm not free. The darkness moved in the same day you said goodbye. The darkness moved in, and I ain't never gonna be alright. Some say the hardest thing is staying sober out on the road. I take it day by day with a cup of coffee and a pack of smoke. And the deep dark times, they still come visit me. And that's when I realize that I'm not free. The darkness moved in the same day you said goodbye. The darkness moved in, and I ain't never gonna be alright. The darkness moved in the same day you said goodbye. The darkness moved in, and I ain't never gonna be alright. Turns out I'm not free. I feel like a poser with this thing on. One more, or you guys?
Fuck
more, hell
yeah!
yeah.
Shit.
Tell me
Hell
what to
yeah.
do ever.
7 more.
Hell yeah.
All right, let me see. What should I play? I have a set list that I never follow.
Did you already play the one that they've asked for? Online?
Yes.
Okay.
Barry, you want? How much time do we have?
Whatever, man.
Oh shit, you guys
You-
are fucking getting crazy on a Monday.
Hell yeah.
This one goes out to the homie
It's
Barry.
still early.
Happy drunk. It's about drinking.
Hell yeah.
Imagine that. Everything seems like a lie when you've been through the shit that I've been through. And as I sit here planning out your death,
Well, part of me still some way still loves you. I don't wanna go out on the streets again. I just wanna be alone. I don't wanna go out on the streets again. I just wanna drink alone. Every day I'm such a mess, and I drink so much that I should have been born a fish. And all the things that I've now lived to regret, well, she'll never find herself on that list. I don't wanna go out on the streets again. I just wanna be alone. I don't wanna go out on the streets again. I just wanna drink alone.
There we go. One more.
Something new.
Something new?
Something new that, we can break it here. First timer.
I'm gonna fuck it up though. Is that cool?
No, hey.
We're not recording, right? This
Wait,
isn't forever, right, guys?
No,
Guys?
hey.
I mean,
Guys?
it's not like we're live right
This is
now.
not for real, right?
No, it's not for real.
But hey, we've never
This is
heard
just
it,
for
so we don't
TiVo,
even
right? For your own
know.
personal TiVo.
We don't even know if you fuck it up. It's brand new. We've never heard it.
Well, it's a cover of like one of my favorite artists, but he's really good. It's a really good song. But when you listen to a song and you identify with it, and you kind of feel like it's about you.
Yeah.
But since I play songs, it's one of those that I wish I would have wrote, even though I'm not on his caliber. And I'm like, damn it, he picked it first. You know what I mean? Like when you get the good kids and you pick them for like the teams.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I totally get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where's that angel with dirty knees who wasn't hard to please when we first met? She don't act like she needs me now, and she don't even seem to be upset. Maybe I've covered too much ground. I've been from town to town since I grew up. Could my dreams take up too much space? I'll never find a place that's big enough. And the chairs go up on the bar now, and the table lights go black. So I order one last dub when I start calling people back. Mark sounds good, he's been working hard. He couldn't punch a card to save his life. Says he's glad that he quit the road. He says he's getting old, he missed his wife. Little Em's been asleep since 9. She's doing fine, she always is. Dad won't answer the phone at night, but I guess that's alright, the place is his. And the chairs go up on the bar now, and the table lights go out. So the girl up bill and I'm headed right out. In my pockets, directions back across the railroad tracks to where I crashed. Maybe I should make down a car, I won't be going far and I've got cash. I think I blocked just to park away, but I can't really say it's been all night. How I wish you would call me here, but you just disappeared, it wasn't right. And the street lights help a little, but they're barely half alive. And I don't feel much like walking, I sure as hell can't drive. Close your eyes and remember this, it won't be back again, it's almost gone. Even times that don't seem like much will be your only crutch when you're alone. Time moves slow when you're 17, and then it picks up steam at 21. Pretty soon you'll remember when you can remember when you love someone. It. I fucked it up twice, but it's okay because nobody knows.
Hell no, man. That
All right,
was
well,
awesome.
thank you guys.
They're never gonna
Thank
know.
you.
much.
Thank you so much for coming down, for rocking out on this Monday.
I think he has one more in him. He's standing there like he has that one more in him. I
mean,
All right, you guys want to hear a sad one or a super sad one?
Ooh,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
sad.
That's super sad.
Super Steve.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This one's called Cold December.
Well, here I go and that bottom feeder is a bottom feeding again. And I'm sitting here consumed by grief of all the drama my friends are in. And I'm in a different place. I'm walking around with no heart. And I wanna finish the game, but I lost my turn and have to go back to start. Oh Lord, now please come help me mend my broken heart. Cause I've been sitting here, tired and alone, drinking and playing my guitar in this bar. And it's been a cold December, and it's been such a lonely holiday. And I'm sitting now waiting and hoping you'll come back to my arms someday. Pardon me for the things I've said, but she's got me up against the wall. And I've been struggling to keep it together while she just waits for me to fall. And I'm in a different place. I'm walking around with no heart. And I wanna finish the game, but I lost my turn and have to go back to start. Oh Lord, now please come help me mend my broken heart. Cause I've been sitting here, tired and alone, drinking and playing my guitar in this bar. And it's been a cold December, and it's been such a lonely holiday. And I'm sitting now waiting and hoping you'll come back to my arms someday. And I'm sitting there waiting and hoping you'll come back to my arms someday. Thank you. Buenas noches.
Man,
Next week.
You know what? Number one live podcast on Tuesday. We just blew up Mondays, man. Number one live podcast on Mondays. Elvis from Left Alone and many more projects. He's going to be this Thursday night at Alex's Bar in Long Beach playing with Manic Hispanic, man. Thank you. You've just elevated this podcast to the next level. Like, I don't even know what we're going to do next week to get. I mean, like, we might just want to end.
quit.
49 just crushed 50.
Yeah, I just want to thank you so much, man, for coming out and telling us your story and motivating everyone out there and helping quite a few people. And again, for the performance was amazing. You did a great job, bro. Again, the number one live podcast. It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, and you just took us to the next level, bro. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
That's right. We out.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Big Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.